I've wanted to upgrade my cyclone dust collector for quite a while now, and I'm very happy with how it turned out. In this video, I'll share the build, how I made this better than my old design, which was honestly really good, design decisions to get the best vac performance, and compact design. I'm also trying to use a trash bag for collection so I don't have to dump dust all over. Will the bag get sucked into the vac, or will it work? I don't know, just gonna have to try it out and see. I utilize scrap wood, and you can make one too for probably $10 in basic tools. Just kidding, that's the YouTube thing to say, right? I did use a lot of stuff on hand, but I have some money in decent casters, drawer slides, hose, and the Cyclone, which I bought off Marketplace for $30. So your mileage may vary on cost. But seriously, this is my most used tool in the shop because I hook it up to everything, so it's worth spending a couple of days to make it great. My old cart is nice with an upgraded HEPA filter, but it lacks storage, and for the space it takes up, I wanted a workshop height top so it can double as a table for whatever I may be building. You can never have too many spots to pile stuff. The Craftsman vac is pretty good. Again, I bought it off Marketplace because it was cheap, but it has the detachable blower, and I think that loses some suction or water lift. So I spent good money on this Fein HEPA extractor when they were on sale, and wanted to build a new cart around that. You can adjust to your own vacuum. Since the Fein is fairly quiet, I'm not too worried about noise. If your shop vac is louder, consider enclosing the cabinet and using noise insulation material, but you do still need openings for outlet air. I have the general idea, and I prefer to start cutting wood out and kind of design it as I go. I'm not big on full cut lists or project plans. Simple mistakes can result in lots of wasted wood, or if a cut is off, it's easier to modify my plan and remeasure as I go. I'm going to use my track saw for most of this. Table saw would work great too, or a circular saw with a rip fence. I hook it up to my old vac with an auto switch and start cutting. I know the outer dimensions and want to build the box first, then figure out how to best fit everything inside. With the bottom and sides cut, I want to make some top supports to help keep it square, and I'm hoping to make a drawer in there, so I use my track saw to rabbet the boards. Just use a combination square to mark and cut the depth of the drawer bottom, then take a few passes to get rid of the excess. Just don't forget to lower the saw cut depth when doing this. I wasn't quite sure how best to glue and screw up the box. I started with pocket screwing the supports and then attached the bottom. Kinda awkward to set up with this size. I bought some parallel clamps on sale around New Year's. I haven't used them for tabletop glue ups or cutting boards yet, but they are like a second set of hands on larger boxes like this. I really like them. I also use these homemade clamp squares you can see. Very easy to make and handy to have around. Really recommended. With the box made, I start to lay out how I want the insides. I want to get some storage out of this for vac attachments, but I also want to minimize the hose and elbows to the Cyclone. Ideally, the vacuum would attach directly to a small elbow coming out of the Cyclone, but that just takes up way too much space. I'm also hoping to use a tall kitchen trash bag in the bin underneath the Cyclone. You can just dump the dust bin, but my dad saw the trash guy load the empty dust into one of the trucks in the morning, and dust went everywhere. So if I can bag it, it will make my life easier and I won't piss off my trash guys. There are probably cleaner ways to do this, but I am a little limited on my scrap wood pile, but I have a plan. Dustbin on the left under the Cyclone, vac up as high as possible with a drawer underneath. The vac on-off switch may not be ideal having to reach in there, but again, I don't want more hose length or elbows that'll hurt the flow between the Cyclone and the vac. Square bins are fine for this type of Cyclone. It doesn't have to be round, but it really does rely on gravity to work, so you can't have it angled. Again, the glue up is a little complicated. I use some pocket holes to help. I also sand areas on this pre-finished ply to help glue stick and combine with brad nails. I did move a little too quick trying to get this together and force the wood. It loosened one side. No worries, I just slapped some more glue in there and then clamped it. The wet glue wipes up easily from the pre-finished ply, and I'll let it dry clamped up. Next, I glued and nailed some lid supports in. The glue won't do much with the pre-finished plywood, but why not? May hold a little and help seal. Then I caulk what I can before assembly. The insides fit the box nicely, but the outside doesn't fit perfectly. It annoys me, but it's fine for what it is. I'm not taking the time to mock up all the pieces or carefully sand everything, just getting it done. It's good enough for who it's for. some glue, more brads, and the inside framework is installed. Then I spend a lot of time making this bird cage framework under where the cyclone is going to go. I did this for my bag method I want to try out. This bird cage will hopefully hold the bag open until enough dust gets collected that it'll stay there. I spent some time rounding the edges over and sanding so the trash bag won't snag. Hopefully it works, or else it was just a big waste of time. In my head, if the box is sealed well, there shouldn't be any leaks causing suction to pull the bag into the vacuum. Time to make the drawer. I previously rabbited the board, now it's time to cut them to length. I have to pull out my big miter saw for 2 cuts, but they are too long for my bandsaw. If I cut multiple boards at a time, is it 1 or 2 cuts? If the nachos are stuck together, it's 1 nacho. Just saying. Anyway, I did do a review and setup of this miter saw in another video, and I do think it's a great value, so check that out. Switch my pocket hole setup to 1/2 inch, check it, and then screw the drawer box together with the help of my parallel clamps. I cut the drawer bottoms out of leftover quarter quickly on the bandsaw, not the tightest fitting, but it will be fine with glue and brad nails. I also cut the top tray bottom as well. Did I say a couple of days on this build? Better make it 3. Still waiting on hose parts, and I only get a few hours on good days to work. If you were watching that closely, you may have noticed I already installed a lid with some leftover Euro hinges from my workshop cabinet build. I used the Miles Craft hinge jig, which works nicely. Then I hit most of it with a small roundover bit. I let the dust fly on this, but I have a mask. I don't like to do it, but it's just safer when moving all around and don't want the hose to snag. I also quickly tested the bird cage fitment with the bag. It seems to work well before fitting the cyclone. When I added the lid, I realized I will have to undo the lid to get the collection bin out the top if it's really full. I used 2-sided tape to get the drawer face on. I also drilled slightly larger holes in the box to accommodate any adjustments needed. Next, now that my hose finally came, I need to fit the Dust Deputy, and then this thing is basically wrapped up. I just fit it where I think it makes sense. It doesn't have to be in the center. The container may just feel a little uneven. As long as the bag works, it won't matter. I have a big hole saw that works well, but it is not cutting this pre-finished ply at all. It got gummed up quickly, but I just kept burning through it more than cutting through it and got the job done. I don't have the gasket because I bought this off Marketplace, but some caulk will do just fine. There are definitely better ways to attach the lid, but with some weather stripping, I'm ready to wrap this up, take the easy way out with just some wood screws into the frame. Some toggle clamps or something would be nice, I just don't want to mess with that right now. Plus, I have to know if this bag is going to get sucked through. Time to test it. Yeah, it has a lot of suction. Look at the hose collapse when you kill flow. I don't think there's much, if any, suction loss, and the bag didn't rip through the cyclone. Success. The hose from the cyclone to the vac does have tighter turns than I prefer, but in order to fit everything in this space, it's the best I could do and still flow well. Just have to put a bow on it now. Very optional, but I did seal up the edges quick with some leftover Minwax satin, and I attached these Powertec casters that are 3 inches and lock the wheel and the rotation of the wheel. Much better than the provided Fein small plastic wheels where only one of the 4 locked. This cart is fairly heavy, but it rolls nicely. If you aren't using scrap, 3/4 is really overkill and 1/2 inch would be best for most of the build. After vacuuming up what I could within a week's time, this bag works great. I really like that addition, and it's cheap because it just uses kitchen bags. You may not see the level build up, but you could always see if the cyclone gets full. Honestly, with 2 screws and a kitchen trash bag, I'll probably just empty it pretty frequently. It's not perfect, no projects ever are, but it's definitely good enough and time to put it to use. I'll leave a link in the description to a bunch of products used in this video and supplies to help you do it yourself. Hopefully this was useful. Definitely consider building one with your vac. I think it's really worth the time. Thanks for watching. Please consider checking out my links for products used in this video, liking, subscribing, or watching more. If you are using a shop vac with tools, check out this video when I upgraded my original cart with the auto vac switch.